The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
So the antimony combined with silver, gold, and the width, so we're getting up to 5 meters, but sort of 3 meter averages. They're mining widths. So we have very clearly have a standalone mine potential project there for silver and antimony.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Road Minerals CEO, Dr. Tim Coughlin. Tim, very good to speak with you. You described the silver antimony veins as a pleasant surprise. What were you expecting to find? What did you actually find? And why does that difference matter?
Hi, Stephen. Good to see you again. They were a pleasant surprise. What did we expect to find? We expected to find, I suppose, more gold-rich epithermal veins, similar to what we were intersecting in at Güíntar, about 4 kilometres to the north. It turns out, depending on where you are relative to a porphyry centre and all sorts of other variables, you can get either silver-rich epithermal veins, such as the ones that we've got, or gold-rich ones. So we got the silver ones. With quite a bit of antimony, which was the pleasant surprise aspect, I think. What I need to make sure everyone understands is that we also found those veins sitting within an envelope of low-grade mineralisation, which we think is still related to our porphyry. I say still because I don't want the veins to detract from the principal target there at Margaritas, which is an underlying porphyry. Incidentally, we have the same thing at Güíntar, where we've been drilling since the start of the year, where we have the large porphyry alteration envelope there, and obviously we've hit the porphyry there, and cross-cutting that, which I think we've pretty much made most people aware of, cross-cutting that as some high-grade veins, which in that case are more gold-rich. So it's not unusual. We expected to hit some veins, and we expected to hit the large low-grade envelope, and we've hit both.
So as you say, you now have high-grade veins at Margaritas and a porphyry cluster emerging at Güíntar 4 kilometres away. How do these pieces fit together in your interpretation of the GAM system?
That's a really good question, and we're going to enter a bit of an ethereal realm here because it comes down to what drives these porphyry clusters. And so, we are identifying at least sort of 3 independent porphyries up there at Güíntar. And as I've alluded to, we suspect we have another one at Margaritas. Now, it could be that they all join into a large, what we call a batholith, so a large intrusive body at depth, at significant depth. We don't know. Given the scale, given that we're only 4 kilometres south, and less so actually from the Algodona porphyry, which is the southernmost one of the 3 porphyry cluster at Güíntar, it's difficult to imagine that we're seeing isolated systems, both in space and in time. So we think it's very likely that there is a connection. Having said that, the early sort of stage of our vectoring studies that we're currently doing at Margaritas suggest that the continuation of that is to the south, not to the north, towards directly towards the GAM, the main GAM cluster.
Tim, antimony is one of the most strategically critical minerals in the world right now. How significant are the values you're seeing, and could these veins have standalone economic potential?
The veins have standalone economic potential because of the combination of silver, antimony, and a little bit of gold. The antimony itself is, I think, the highest we got is about 0.5%. And so generally, if it was antimony alone, you'd probably need around about 1% of antimony. But combined with the silver, the gold, so the antimony combined with silver, gold, and the width, so we're getting up to 5 meters, but sort of 3 meter averages. They're mining widths. So we have very clearly have a standalone mine potential project there for silver and antimony.
You're now moving into vectoring studies to locate the primary source of the hydrothermal system. What are you looking for, and what would success mean for the next phase of drilling?
So what we're looking for are combinations of geochemical elements which are then combined with sort of geophysical signatures and zoning, and we are going to acquire some other airborne geophysics, some airborne MT, that will direct us. We can do this already in terms of the geochemistry down the drill hole. It points us because of different concentrations of different elements down the trace of that drill hole as to where we need to be. So we're already doing that. We have a reasonably good idea. But in terms of identifying a much bigger target, then we need to integrate those those other data sets, including the new MT geophysics. And so I imagine, given and we knew this before we drilled at Margaritas, given the distance that we estimate we are from the porphyry, that we're talking about 1,000-meter holes, something like that, in order to get down to what that where that center and where it is.
Well, Tim, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Stephen.
Dr. Tim Coughlin, the CEO of Road Minerals.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.